That's it. Welcome to the Sackpack Fantasy Football League week in preview, review. I'm not sure what we're calling it yet.
Both.
We're covering everything within the league this week. So, this was a big week for us because it was the end of the regular season and then the intro of playoffs. And so we went last week, we knew the up to 5 teams, and now we know all 8 teams going into playoffs. We know the 6 that didn't make it. Much love
Wow, wow.
goes out to them and respect because a lot of them had really good seasons and the scheduling gods were abusive to a few of them. But the scheduling gods were gracious to a few of those who made it to the playoffs. I am included in that because
All of us here.
my stats were not that impressive this season, and
No.
so thank you. That's true. It's true.
Mine have been all right, so I'm pretty happy for them.
You have done really well. Just so we can do some introductions here, I am Lollipop Guild, Shannon, and then we have Go Birds represented by Jason, and we also have
Caw-caw!
Fighting Fistula represented by Mike here. So, how did you do in week 13, fellas?
I did well. I was over 100
Did you
points.
win?
I won.
You won? Who did you?
Right, because remember you did not recognize my 4-game winning streak.
No, that's
Honestly, that's why I'm here. I figured we would go 30 to 45 minutes
Yeah.
talking about it.
definitely
Your tribute.
Maybe.
My tribute.
Totally.
Well,
I won too, and I don't think I've broken 100 points this season.
Really. You know what? As I do this, when I do the stats,
I've been extremely lucky.
when I do the stats for the awards, I'll figure all that out. I kind of ignore all that until stats time. So
It is pretty crazy how low scoring some of these games have been. So, like, 'cause
Yeah.
I have the second most amount of points, and
yeah,
I just now finally bumped up to third place. Like,
I
I was down at the bottom for the first half of the season.
I attribute that to our going from a 12-man league to a 14-man league.
A lot of
So
parity.
yeah, I use man
That's
as
a
a
good hockey
figure of
term there.
human person,
Mhm.
but going to that many people really diluted the pool of players
Yeah,
that we all had to pull from. So
I don't think really anybody has more than one kind of stud on their team. I don't have any
except
consistent ones,
except
scumbags.
scumbags, which appropriate naming. Yeah.
You know, that guy's going to win. And he's Ezekiel Elliott and Gronkowski out on suspension, mind you. So he's basically the Baltimore Ravens.
You know,
And he's still going to win.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
going through some old footage from last season from our awards party, and I realized he actually drafted Ropak's team last year, remember? And because Ropak was on vacation when we did the draft, and then
And he wanted to get in the league, and that was kind of his.
his foot
Get
in
his
the
foot in the
door,
door.
yeah, kind of. But Ropak didn't win the championship last year, but he was the most winningest team last year.
So you think he's a good drafter?
So he's a savant.
he's a
Rain
good
Man.
drafter,
Yeah.
He's
man.
our Rain Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna show the group here. Anyone watching, this is our website, and so matchups for week 14. You can see going in, we have Lollipop Guild versus Fighting Fistula, Go Birds versus the Vaders, Scumbags versus
Caw-caw.
Shitty Brady's, Back to the Future versus the Astro Cats. And as I scroll down, you can see our current standings, which mean nothing going into playoffs, but we have Scumbags on top, and then Go Birds, obviously the top 8 are the ones I just mentioned. RG3PO is barely missing at Planet Express, Regis Island. Amazon CG produces some good picks. So that is our standings.
Look at some of those 4 points.
Shannon, who
Amazon's.
was third place?
I don't know. I don't care for third place.
But look at Amazon's points for.
Look at her points for and points against. That clearly
That's
shows
just shitty
you,
luck.
for her to be in 12th place, that is insanity. Absolute insanity. Just piss poor scheduling.
And then you look at RG3PO has more points than me.
Yeah. Again, probably piss poor scheduling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's telling when you get there, when you get your recap where it tells you how many other teams you beat.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I've had a couple of 130-point games, and I've had a couple of 50-point games.
Yeah.
And at any given time, if I was against the scumbags in one of those 130-point games, you know, could have won, or anybody here.
I must say, this is
Luck of the draw.
Shannon, how many years have you been running this?
It's my 3rd year.
So, and then we were in a version of this for 2 or 3 years before that.
You guys were, I was not.
Yeah. And I've made the playoffs every time and not one. But I am just proud of my Red Wingsian streak here. That's all I care about is just get in the playoffs. Then I can lose.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen when you're in the playoffs. It's any man, any given Sunday.
Yeah, we made it so many years,
so.
Yeah. I am not confident.
Don't do it. 9 times out of 10, you know who's winning.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'll make it out of the first round here, but maybe.
Shannon and I are right now, we're 50-50.
We're 50-50, but I'm pretty sure you're going to win. My guys have been rather inconsistent, and yours have overscored on numerous occasions throughout the season. So I'm not really confident in my team's abilities at this time. So
I play
a lot of
the waiver
close
wires
matchups.
well. I play the waiver wires very well, so
that's
I picked up.
I know. I need to do better at that next year.
Did anyone drop a bunch of people by any chance going into like some of the people maybe who aren't in the playoffs? Dump?
No, I didn't see them.
Nobody dumped. Okay. Huh?
We can't.
That was a rumor. That
What?
might have happened, but I guess it didn't.
Oh, okay. There was a little bird told me someone was going.
No birds.
Some of the non-playoff teams were going to start drafting ridiculously to affect the playoffs.
We're going to drop. Yeah, they were going to
Draft things and draft certain things.
to maybe
and-
make it
that would be
difficult for a
amazing.
certain scumbag to win. But I don't think they did.
All I need is a quarterback.
Mm.
I'll be all right.
I let go. I
But
had
you
two.
offered me a pretty sweet deal.
I had
don't
two
know.
quarterbacks, but I let go. I let go of Rivers halfway through this season. Once Wilson was through his bye week, I let go of Rivers, and
Rivers is too
aggravating.
inconsistent.
he's inconsistent, but he got me through bye week.
What's aggravating about Russell Wilson is, and looking at your points, he was my primary last year.
He did
and Matthew
well this
Stafford
year.
was my backup, and I sat him in round 3 and never played him again. And Matthew Stafford was phenomenal for me last year.
Yeah.
And now this year he signs his, money. He gets his money check. And
How's he done?
He's done pretty well.
he's all right. He's all right.
Yeah.
He's not terrible.
He's been my points, man. But
I haven't had a.
Wilson. Yeah, Wilson's done real well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's had a great year.
for Wilson.
He was very inconsistent last year.
Wilson and Gurley have been my points, and Amari Cooper. When he's there, he's good, but he's in and out. It seems like.
I don't think they're. Well, at least my quarterbacks have not been consistent at all. Drew Brees is on the decline. And Andy Dalton is Andy Dalton.
I'll say my weakness this season was not drafting a good tight end.
There's
and
there's only like 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah,
That's
but that's
funny
been
you say
my
that.
death, huh?
That's what got me to where. That's what got me to 3rd place. I made a trade with good picks. I gave her Tevin something, running back guy, and I gave her who's the crummy guy from who's the old man on these Saints? Who's the old tight end? I'm sorry, not the quarterback.
I don't know.
It's not Jimmy Graham anymore.
Anyways,
yeah.
Anyways, I traded her those 2 for Jimmy Graham, and
Yeah, he's had a great year.
that was a very good trade for me because my tight ends were getting 2 or 3 points a game, and now Jimmy Graham is usually in double digits. I drafted Latavius Murray too for the Vikings before he was anything, and now he's awesome.
I'm sorry, not to ignore what you said, but I'm totally ignoring what you said because the rumors, the little bird, I'm noticing some non-playoff people making a lot of dumps and acquisitions in our recent transactions.
I didn't see that. I looked.
Let me
yesterday.
show you guys. Go to the website, and if we go down here to our recent transactions, we have Regis Island grabbing a lot of tight ends.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
He dropped Mariota if you can do a quarterback. Why am I helping?
Yeah, I might get the quarterback there.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, Scumbags looks like he's doing some wheeling and dealing here, and I had the guy he just picked up. I didn't for like a minute. It didn't really help me out too much earlier in the season, but yeah, there seems to be a lot of
Josh
trading.
McCown? Somebody? Oh no, never mind. That's not the guy from.
There seems to be a lot of trading among the non-playoff teams all of a sudden. That's very interesting. What do I do as commissioner? Like they can do that, right? Like a person can
Yeah.
make their own choice to
Yeah.
all of like
It's
there's
called collusion.
It's not
Collusion,
collusion if two people aren't in on it. If
Okay.
it's one person just doing it, that's
I'm
his-
not a lawyer.
I study bird law mostly.
I only lost my law degree 2 years ago, so you know. But
Shayna, get that for you.
anyways, oh, well played. But the good news is, Shannon, I can legally practice gynecology again.
Nice.
Yes.
awesome.
Nice.
I don't think that's true, but awesome. So, so how do you guys think about your matchups this week? I kind of guess Mike and I kind of just talked about that. Jay, did you mention?
I think I'm playing Baiters, and I beat him a couple of weeks ago, and it's a tight matchup. I'm projected to win by a couple. Like I feel like maybe I'll get past this round, but I don't have any
Okay.
illusions that I'll do much more than that. I've gotten extremely lucky, and looking at all my points it's going to be rough for me.
Larry Fournette has been my only like consistent player. Even my top guys, like what I would get so aggravated about is like Julio Jones and Tyreek Hill. They'll have 2 games where they get 5 points, and then a game where they get 30. And then a game where they get 5 points, and a game where they get 30.
Yeah.
If you look at like the scumbags, like very rarely, other than Gronkowski, does anybody on his team get like 30 points a game. It's just all 15 to 20 points from every single player.
Yeah, he's very
And
consistent.
I don't have that.
Me neither. This season, if one of my non-quarterback players put up 15 points, I'd be super happy.
I was
He has
super
a
happy when they didn't go negative sometimes. God. I had the weirdest year. My defense went negative last week. It sucked.
It will be hilarious, though, if he just eats it this first week or something like that.
You know what? He had like 7 players on bye in 1 week and didn't lose.
Yeah, Slurms was very upset.
Yeah, Slurms cannot catch. And right now, going into this round, Amari Cooper is questionable.
Who's he playing? He's playing Shady Brady's, right?
He is playing Shady Brady's, yes.
So far, the Shady Brady's are slated to win, just barely. But I mean, no.
Zach Shady Breeze is very motivated to beat him, so that's got to help his players, I would imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
That motivation. Definitely.
Oh, totally. Yeah, that spark
feeds them
momentum.
Momentum.
So let's
see. It's a fun
here.
word to say.
I have 3 questionable players going into this week, and they're all players I need. So that sucks.
I've avoided injuries a lot this year.
That's good.
I picked up Chris Hogan when Danny Amendola went out, or whatever happened. I had Danny Amendola for like the first 2 weeks. He did really good. Then he hit his head. Then I picked up Chris Hogan, and for like 5 weeks he was getting 20 points for New England, and then he got hurt, and he's been out since. But of course, not slated to come back. But yeah, he's been my big guy that's hurt. No, I got a lot of hurt. Jimmy Graham is questionable. Matt Stafford's questionable.
Matt Stafford's
that's right.
Questionable anyway, but
So I picked up Marcus Mariota just now. Well, hopefully.
Yeah, just now.
Who do the Lions play this week? I don't even know.
Cincinnati, I think.
Oh, okay.
You know, my first 2 years, like I would totally just.
Oh, Tampa Bay.
Oh, he should put up.
Lobster legs or whatever it is, fish sticks or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
My first 2 years, all I would do is pick up who was ever defense against Detroit Lions and get a ton of points like each week. Like I just kept that slot open. And like as long as they were available, bam, bam, bam.
Well, the aggravating thing about it is, so like I pick up Sammy Watkins and I played him twice, and everybody's like, every time you look at it, like, don't play him. And every single time they say don't play him, he gets double points. The one game that I did play him where they told me to play him, he got 3.6 points.
Yeah, their advice is really.
I the first few weeks of this season, I started paying attention to the Fantasy Pros recommendations because, like, I'm gonna start paying attention. So they don't know what they're talking about at
No.
all.
No,
I'm like,
I've gotten to now.
I
I don't
was
look at
better
their
doing this on my
advice.
own.
Yeah, I just look at who are they playing. Is their defense suck? If it does, I'm playing them.
Yeah,
I'll
totally.
be
And
quite
that
honest. I really don't even know how to read 2/3 of these metrics here. So
Yeah, me neither. I just look at I like the summaries they do.
yeah,
There's sometimes, but they used to be more in depth. It seems like, and that's kind of the only thing I really look at and who they're playing against.
Totes my goats.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got for that.
Yep.
They in my circumstances, it was not beneficial to use them. I'm sure they obviously are beneficial to a lot of people. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a business that they do have. So
No, I think their main the summaries aren't as bad. It's the freaking percentages and everything else they throw at you and projected points. That seems to be really off this year. So, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
sorry, I'm
That's
looking
all
at
right.
the claims. I'm trying to figure out which name I want to put first because I got screwed with that a few times too. Because I really don't know what I'm doing.
No, nobody
No,
does.
none of us.
We're so
none of us do.
casual.
Yeah,
Well, Zach and his friends might,
I'm
but
so casual. I'm in my underwear right now,
yeah, me too.
laying on my couch.
I'm
Oh,
in
well.
my flannel jammy pants, so yeah.
Pants for weak people.
All right. Are we
So,
gonna call it for this
uh,
week? And
Yep. And next week there's going to be bloodbath result. It's going to be awful.
one of us on the show this week is gonna be out. So
Yeah, that's
at
true.
least one, maybe two, but at least one.
Hey, can you do me a favor though, real fast? Can you read the top? What do you want to call it? The top three teams.
Oh, that's a weird. I wonder how you came to that number.
I would, but I just.
We're out of time though, right?
I just played the outro.
Didn't really play the outro.
It's fine.
Jen, I think you're gonna win.